Hello everybody. Wasn't going to make a video today, which is going to be the first day since I started the channel. I didn't make a video, but I wanted to get out this morning and go and do something fun and be out and about and do something. The world has a funny way of not doing that. Anyways, so the whole reason of getting out and doing it is because I'm dealing with the loss of my coven, and not really the coven. Well, okay, so here's why I'm making the video. I have been having some trouble dealing with some losses lately in my life, and when I was thinking about it this morning, I was like, well, I'm dealing with the loss of my coven. It's not really my coven. It's one person in the coven, and this one person has pushed out other people from the coven, to the point where now everybody's been pretty much pushed out. And which made me think, like, then it's not whatever. So the other part of it is that through this recent loss, I also lost what I would consider the child of the coven, is the organization. And I've been asked recently, why would you just walk away from an organization that you help create and build and that is doing things and all of that stuff? And for me, it reminds me of the story where they had to choose between the baby, and the king was like, well, I'll cut the baby in half. And they were like, and the one was like, no, you can have the baby. And that's how I feel about it. Just like, as a child of divorce, and it sucked being in the middle, and I don't want the organization or any of its projects or anything like that to be at fault for this, or faulted by this, and so that's why I had to just walk away, and that's for the good, but, it's a lot of grief, and my mom and I were talking about it the other day, and she says, well, Terry, it's like dealing with somebody who died. You have to go through all of the stages of grief and work through that and process through that and all of that stuff. And it's like it's like someone who died but is also a zombie and keeps coming back to get you. Anyways, so this morning, I was just kind of having trouble dealing with that. Crop dusters going back after their hard work this morning. But in dealing with grief and thinking about all of that, just, kind of got me to thinking about how in the pagan community and in the pagan world, that grief and loss and death are dealt with. And it's funny because death itself specifically, for me, like, I almost think it would be easier to have dealt with the situation. Like, if the person had died, that would make the situation easier, because there wouldn't be unresolved, like, things that we could talk about and try to fix. And I'm a big try to fixer. That's like part of my problem, is I just want to fix everything. You can't fix everything. But so I was thinking about how the pagan community deals with, death and all of this stuff. And it's a transition. It's a time to learn from the lesson and to move forward, to deal with it, to, find positive coping mechanisms that you need while you're in the situation that you can then let go of when you're done with, and to transform and to let that transformation happen. And that is so much easier said than done. It is so easy to say, let the transformation happen and go forth. But when you're in that moment and you're upset and you're thinking about it, you're like, why do I keep thinking about this, and why do I keep coming back to this? Well, I know why personally I keep coming back to this, and this might be the same problem that other people have, and it's because you want a resolution, you want a solution to the problem, and there are some problems that you just can't solve. There are some things that just don't have a resolution, and it's not about forgiveness or atonement or making things right or whatever. It's just, you have to accept that sometimes the solution is moving forward and learning that lesson. And so right now, as we're all dealing with a lot of stuff, I was watching another YouTube video this morning, and this woman, it was beautiful, and she was sharing this heartfelt thing about her personal life and the troubles and struggles that she's going through, and trying to use it as a tool to be more productive and move forward. And that's something that you're going to see a lot throughout the pagan community, at least with community leaders who are trying to help you better yourself and better the community, and move into this place of overall better well-being. And that's part of the when we talk about balance and homeostasis and being at one with nature and all of these things, that's what that is. That it is that being in that natural state of homeostasis and making you and yourself in your space the best that you can be. You don't see wild animals lying and getting fat and lazy and doing nothing because they can't get what they want. They just keep going until they get it, to the point where sometimes you think that an animal is crazy because they keep trying to climb that same tree. They're like, I'm going to get that bird up there. The cat's like, I'm going to do it. And you're like, you cat, you're not going to do it. And they just keep trying. They just get stuck, and they try and they try and they try, but they just keep trying. They don't just get fat and be like, whatever, I'm going to sit over here and do nothing and be lazy and not move forward productively. They do what they can to better themselves. They are always in this state of evolution, of being better and moving forward. And as we as pagans are trying to connect with the natural world and be one with the nature, and to become balanced and at a homeostasis in ourselves, we have to realize that that's part of the process. So this transformation, this whatever learning process, is what it is, and you have to learn, and you have to move forward, and you have to not do that again. I love how crows, I watch this documentary on them, or ravens, and they will, the nuts that are too hard for them to chew in the city, they'll drop on the street where the cars run them over, and then when the light turns red, they'll go down and grab them and fly away really fast. And they've learned this. And so that's we have to strive for that, moving forward, being better, doing better, transforming into something new. So when you hit a wall where you're like, I'm dealing with this grief, and I'm dealing with this anger, and I'm dealing with this trouble, you have to try to look at it from a perspective of, what am I learning from this lesson? How is it making me a better, stronger, more capable human being? And how am I going to use that to then move forward as a tool in my life to do things better, to not run into this problem again, to achieve that goal? So think about that as you transition through something, or you work through something, that you have the power to be a better person, and to be the bigger person, and to move forward, and to do the right thing. And that's all that you can do, because the only thing, which, as I say this, is so ironic to me, because this is a lesson that I learned from this person that I'm having all of these problems with. But when she said these words to me, it rattled around in my brain so much that these are very true words. You can only control your reaction to a situation. Is this how you want to react? That's it. So think about that as you're reacting to situations, and you are going through transformations and learning and growing and experiencing life. The only thing that you can control is your reactions. So have a great day. Blessed be. I toast to you, and I hope that you make it through any transition with the wisdom and the courage and the strength to be the better person on the other side. So blessed be. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll talk to you all very soon.